want a studio like this, but then easy to set up and easy to take with you? Elgato has a solution for you now, because this setup is so easy to set up. We've got a light here, we got a Stream Deck here, we got a microphone and a capture card to capture, for example, the Nintendo Switch or your tablet. It's super easy to set up, like super easy. They're also gonna add a webcam later on to make this whole package complete, and they're gonna sell this all as a package deal. This video is sponsored by Elgato. Let's learn more about all these products. First, we're gonna unpack the microphone, which is the Wave Neo. On the bottom, we have this wrap part. Oh, and then it immediately opens up. Really neatly packed, only paper used. The microphone itself is really small. Like, this is my hand. It's super small, super compact. There is something in here. Oh, it's a stand. And some screws. We've got a cable. Important safety instructions. Like here inside, it says speak into the side of the microphone. Underneath it, we have the stand. Kind of heavy, but it needs to like counterweight, so that's kind of logical. Here at the bottom of the box, we do see some instructions on how to set it up, even though it is pretty straightforward. It does have a replaceable pop filter right here, a mute button at the front, and headset jack at the back. Let's just put it on the stand. So here on the inside, it says how we can do it. I'm gonna put this in here. We can screw the microphone on. At the base, we just basically put a screw underneath, and then we can screw this in. It's a pretty long thread, so it might take a bit. You lift this, you can more easily tighten it, and if you've tightened it, you can put it down again. Now I have the microphone set up, and as you can see, it's quite close to my mouth, and this is on purpose because then you will record better. The closer the mic is to your mouth, the better it will sound, and the less environment sounds you will pick up. We're gonna put this USB-C cable inside here. You will know that you did it right if this lines up, it closes nicely, and we can put the other end in the computer, which we're gonna do in a second. Another thing to note is it does have a cable holder right here, so you can put your cable in it, and then you can do some neat cable management. The whole Neo family has nylon braided cables, so they don't tangle as quickly as other cables, so that will also really help with the cable management. I'm gonna set this aside for a second, unpack the other things, and then we're gonna set it up all together. This is the Stream Deck Neo. This is the Stream Deck version of the Neo family, so let's unpack this one too. The box. At the bottom we do see the strip, and then we'll just open. We have the Stream Deck. The wire is already attached to it, and we have a little important safety instruction guide. Here it says look inside, and it says learn and discover, and it has this QR code inside. That's basically all what's in this box. It's the Stream Deck itself and a safety guide. It is super easy to set up, so it doesn't really need more than this. We have an adjustable stand. Basically, we can put it as high or low as we want. Even have a be flat. I like it with a bit of an angle, so I'm gonna go for this probably. Just have 8 adjustable keys, so you can set whatever you want on here. It can work with any program. We have touch points here and here, and we do have a info bar here as well. We're gonna see it up in action in a second as well. Let's continue to the next one, which is the Keylight Neo. Again, I'm suspecting, yeah, the bottom has this rip paper. Rip this off. And then we can open it up. All right, we see the back of the light here. I'm gonna lift that out. The light itself is not that big, so it's easy to bring with you. A mount for your monitor. And in this little paper, I mean, it says some regulation things on here. We have a little tutorial bit right here, a guide on how to put it on the stand, but you know, it's just screwing it on the stand, so it's really simple. And behind here, we do have this thing. It says, click the cable reel into the back of the Keylight Neo. Make sure the cutout aligns with the USB-C port. So what this means is you can have your cables wrapped around here, be actually doing some proper cable management. And there's more behind this. We have a USB-C to USB cable. This one is 2.0, 480 Mbits per second. We have another cable in here, USB male to USB female. This one is also 2.0, 480 Mbits per second cable. And we have the important safety instructions. It comes with a lot of pressable keys on here. 2 of them are for presets. One of them is an off and on button. And here we have a dial for the temperature and the brightness of the light. Now we've already seen that we have a cable holder. Now it's on the back. Make sure that you put the opening for the USB-C cable in the right spot, otherwise it won't work. And now we can wrap our cable around this, but we can also do it without if you prefer that. It's a universal thread, so you can basically screw this on a tripod of choice. You can also use the Elgato multi-mount system, for example. Let's keep it simple and just put it on this monitor mount instead. But this is not all, because they also have a capture card, so that's the next one that we're gonna unpack. This is the Game Capture Neo. Let's unpack it. Gonna open it up. I love the presentation, because as we open it up, we see the product immediately. So I'm gonna pull this out. It's wrapped in some paper. I mean, we can just easily remove. It has the Elgato logo on it, so that is really, really nice. Safety instructions. We have a cable, USB-A to USB-C cable, 3.0, 5 gigabits per second. This is a USB 3, so it has this blue bit in it. That's how you recognize a USB 3.0 cable over a 2.0 cable. Very fast cable this. With this cable, you can basically plug it in the capture card and let it route to your computer. So you can have a laptop or a computer, and you can have this USB-A output be going to your computer. You can record in OBS, but you can also use it with other recording software. Here in the front, we do have a LED light, which is gonna light up and tell us the status of the capture card. And on the back, we have an HDMI out and an HDMI in, which means HDMI in is from the thing you're trying to record. So for example, your TV screen, your monitor, your console, anything that basically gives output through an HDMI, you can record. And you can record that with the HDMI in. And if you also want to see yourself on an external monitor, you can use the HDMI output to actually send it to another monitor. So for example, if you're recording your Nintendo Switch, you send your Nintendo Switch to the HDMI in, and then you send the HDMI out to your screen, and you can still see it on your screen in real time without having to look at the output of the capture card itself. It will basically record the footage, but also just pass through to the HDMI out, so you can see it in real time. It is really just plug and play. You can even record an iPad without any external software. So if you want to show something on your iPad on the computer, it's easy to do like this. It will be recording in 1080p, 60 FPS. Let's try to set this whole thing up with the laptop right now. I've got a laptop here and we're just gonna set it up with the laptop. First I will start with the microphone because, well, we want some good audio. I'm just gonna plop it in the USB port and we can basically just add it to any program we want. There you go, and now you should be hearing me from this lovely microphone. It's pretty close to my mouth, so it will not pick as much background noise. I've got a pretty loud laptop here though, keep that in mind. So it is, the vents are pumping, it's like zzz the whole time. But I don't think you're gonna hear that much on the recording. I'm gonna have to listen back, of course, but I don't think it's gonna be much of a problem. So if you do have a laptop with pretty loud fans, then this might be a solution for you because it's really close to your mouth and it will pick less of the background noise up. Next thing we're gonna set up is this light. It comes with a monitor mount. You can just mount it like this. Let's plop in some USB cables first. You only have to use USB-C to USB port one, but you can also use the extender if you need it to be further away. We plop that in a USB port, we can turn it on. And then there is light. There's multiple things we can do. We can scroll through presets that they are already set. So this one or this one. We can also use the dial to make it go like lighter, less bright. And if you click the dial, we can also have it go temperature. So you can have it very blue light or very yellow light instead. So you can basically adjust it to how bright you need it to be. Then like this laptop just has 2 USB ports, so I'm gonna need to like put something out of here to show you the next thing. So if you have a laptop with just 2 USB ports, make sure that you have some kind of adapter that splits them into multiple. For example, the 100 USB hub from Corsair. I'll leave a video for that product up here so you can see how that works as well. Now I'm gonna put in the Stream Deck Neo. So we plug it in and it basically already starts, and we do have some icons here already. So we do have undo, redo, we do have sound volume controls, apps, links. So basically if you plug it in, you can immediately start. It does have some tutorials here too, plugins, actions, pages. And it will say what date and time it is right here. And with the touch keys, you can go to a different page. We have some pages here. And if I click here on the touch keys, these touch buttons, you'll get to the next page with the next options. You can, however, also use the Elgato Stream Deck software with it and set up your own buttons. So it's plug and play. It will immediately work with like a lot of things you want to do. But if you, for example, want to set up switching scenes in OBS or doing something else that isn't standard on here, you can always do that yourself with the Stream Deck software as well. For the capture card, I'm just going to plug the USB-C cable in the USB-C input. And we can plug this in the laptop. For my example, I will be using a Nintendo Switch, but you can also use a tablet, or you can use a PlayStation, an Xbox, or anything else with an HDMI output, basically. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plug my HDMI cable that came with my console into the HDMI in, and then I'm gonna plug it in the dock of the Switch, just where you normally would plug it in as well. There's also an HDMI out. You can plug that in any screen if you want to use a screen as well, so monitor. Now on the laptop, I'm gonna add a video capture device. I'm just going to click on the Elgato Game Capture Neo. As you can see, we see a preview here already. Here we have it, internal my Switch. There we go. And I can basically immediately start playing. You will immediately see a preview of the game right here. And if you edit, for example, in OBS, you will see it in your OBS. And you can immediately start playing. You can click on a button and it will automatically, immediately, real time, do it right here. So we can just walk around and stuff like that just in the game. You can basically play the game just by looking at the laptop screen now. You can add an additional monitor if you want with the HDMI output, but you do not need that. It's actually already working like this, so you do not per se need it. But if you prefer playing from a monitor instead, for a dedicated monitor, you can do it like that as well. Thank you so much, Elgato, for sponsoring this video. If you like any of the Neo family products, I'll leave them down below in the description. Make sure to click on the link and use code ZZTRUI for 5% off on the Elgato website. Make sure to accept the cookies for the affiliate link to work. If you want to see more Elgato products, make sure to check out this playlist. If you want to grow in your Twitch, check out this playlist. YouTube thinks you're gonna like this video, and if you don't want to miss anything, you don't want to miss anything, right? Subscribe right here.